One more name I have to mention, because he's hardly played all season long, but he did feature today, would be Rudiger. So we talked about the defending. When we looked at the goals, I think you highlighted Rudiger as he could have given away a penalty if Maddison hadn't scored. Hoofy, are you worried about his future at the club? Do you think he has a future when there are other options on the bench today?
Well, there was a chat about him leaving, wasn't it, and sort of moving on. But it can't be nice when you've been frozen out. And well, I mean, ultimately it's his job, but he was frozen out, and now it's sort of going against the team, he gets a chance. But I can see why Frank's done it. You know, you give players a chance and just have to grab it. But he certainly didn't perform well at the weekend, and today again, you know, at fault for the goal. But again, consistency, playing with the same centre back for 5-6 games, build relationships again. You know, it's not easy coming in. It's not, especially after an injury or a loss of form. You need to work on it. And I think it's naive, especially in that sort of spine of the team. You know, in the middle of the pitch. You know, you need to have trust in your partner. Whether it's a midfield up front, you know, you do. And at the moment, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing.
Hoofy, who would you go with? Who would your centre pairing be?
I like Zuma and Silva. Obviously, Zuma's got the pace, turn the pace, a bit more physicality. And I would just make it really simple for these two guys. You know, get the ball, get it to midfield, and win your battles. You know, really, really simple. Make their mind up. You know, at the moment, like I said, I think they're playing each other into some real trouble. You know, they're just playing passes where it's not really on. So again, like you mentioned before, back to training ground, sit down and strip it down.
Mark, why do you think he picked Rudiger today? Because, as Uwe rightly said, he has been frozen out for most of the season. And going to play Leicester, who are higher than them in the table, is a big ask of Antonio Rudiger. Maybe it would be better to go with a more established defender for this season, at least in Zuma. Shouldn't question marks be raised there?
Yeah, listen, I'm very surprised Rudiger's back on the side, because I actually don't think he's that great a defender. I actually don't think he's good enough to play for Chelsea. I think he's had enough opportunities at Chelsea. Yes, last season, season before, he had quite a lot of injury issues. But I honestly believe that, I mean, Kurt Zuma, I agree with Huthi. I think Kurt Zuma next to Silva is the best combination. They showed it a couple of weeks ago how good they are together. Yes, of course, they're going to have a dip in form sometimes. And again, I'd break it down as well and say, keep it simple. Let's play ourselves into this. Let's get into form. Let's keep it simple. Get the ball on the ground, play it out, get your head on it, kick, get your foot through it if you need to. Don't overplay it. Don't overcomplicate it. Make sure that we're so difficult to break down defensively. And I think Zuma, together with Silva, is the best combination of two centre halves. Christensen, I think, is a good player to have there and thereabouts if you need him. Tomori as well. I would play Tomori ahead of Rudiger. I'm surprised Tomori's out of the side altogether.
What do you make of that, Uwe?
Yeah, I mean, Tomori started really, really well, and out of nothing, he just sort of got dropped again. Really surprising, but it is what it is. You know, you just got to knuckle down. Stop making excuses. Yeah, just you got to work at it. It's as simple as that.
But is Mark right though? Not Mark Wright, the footballer, but is Mark correct in saying that Rudiger is not good enough for Chelsea?
I think prior to his injury, I would probably disagree with Mark. I thought he was excellent then, yeah, because I think he lost something with his cruciate injury. He looks a bit unsure, maybe lost a bit of mobility. But yeah, in terms of, he looks, at the moment, he looks like he's waiting to give a goal away, isn't he? Certainly in the first couple of games he's been back.
So do you find it strange, Mark, that Tomori is linked to AC Milan for a loan move this January?
Yeah, he's linked with a loan move with the potential for being permanent. I got no doubt if he does go there on loan. I think they're talking, I mean, what I've been reading is I think there's a potential of a £25 million then buyout clause if the loan goes all right. And for me, it'd be no doubt that AC Milan would sign him at the end of it if they actually get a chance to loan him. with that option. Because I think he's a very good player, a very good, young player. Showed last season. Yeah, listen, he's going to make mistakes, but he's still learning. But I like everything about him. I think he's got a potential to be a really good centre half. It's just a strange one, And I think sometimes as coaches, I've had it through my career. I'm sure probably Houthi has experienced it as well. Is that when you get to the Premier League, a lot of these managers believe that there's players that are almost finished products, that you don't have to do the simple things. You don't have to do the basic stuff on the training field. They kind of think, well, no, we don't need to do that. That's boring. We don't need to tell you how to defend or, how you're supposed to push up, the shape of a back line. They overlook it. And far too often. And there can be so simple little, alterations to actually improve your defensive work, particularly as a back. I mean, at Fulham, the simplest thing we used to do as a back line, at the end of a session, the last 15, 20 minutes, the back four would get together with me in goal. They'd whip crosses in. The defenders would either head it clear, I'd call it, they'd call it, or I'd come and take it. And we'd play exactly for those moments like you would on a weekend. So at high intensity. And it'd be those little simple things. Keep reminding yourself what you'd be doing, how to defend, how to push up. Ball comes in, who's going to be coming for it? Who's, the conversation, the talking. And that is something that you need to work on all the time.